Whatever you do for the next 30 seconds, don't think about a pink elephant. And if you were thinking about a pink elephant before I suggested that you don't think about it, we've got some work to do. Have you ever wanted to purchase a new car? And then once you decide that you want that car, you see it everywhere. It becomes on the forefront of your vision. You went from never seeing the vehicle to deciding you want it, and then you see it everywhere. Well, why does that happen? That happens because you have a mindset shift from I think I want this to I want this. You have a mindset shift from what you're thinking about to don't think about a pink elephant. And now all of a sudden, all you can think about are those pink elephants. I'm Brian Cain, mental performance coach to some of the top coaches and athletes on the planet. And I want to share with you 5 mindset shifts that you can make that give you the absolute best chance for success. Now, before we get into those 5 mindset shifts, let me just give you an example of one more. If you take a look at this FedEx logo on the screen, you've seen this entire life. You've seen this probably thousands of times, but have you ever seen the arrow inside of the FedEx logo? Because it's right there between the orange E and the orange X. And now that I've got your attention, let's move past the pink elephants. Let's move past that vehicle that you want. And let's move into that FedEx arrow, because there are things around you that have always been there that you've never seen before. And as a coach, I use that FedEx arrow example all the time with the clients that I have and show them that there's often more to what you see. There's more there. It's just got to be coached and it's got to be pointed out to you. So today, 5 mindset shifts that you can make to turn yourself into the most mentally tough athlete or performer that you can be and give you the best chance for success. The first simple mindset shift that you can make is to turn have to into want to. You see, if you're pursuing greatness, there's going to be things that you have to do. There's going to be things that you need to do that you aren't always going to like. And as an athlete, if you can get yourself into the headspace that I'm going to do what's best for me, whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to do what's best for me, whether I want to or not, that's how you're going to turn I have to into I want to. You see, I have to. Your focus is on, I have to do this thing because I'm trying to be obedient or because a coach told me to. But when you say I want to, it changes the energy. It changes the dynamic. You see, when you say I want to go lift weights, I want to go to bed early so I can get up early, I want to eat better, I want to stay late after practice, you're now taking ownership and you're bringing the energy that's going to be required for you to attack that skill. Now, turning I have to into I want to, or even I get to, and attacking it with gratitude that you get to do what you do every day is a great perspective and a mindset shift that will bring more juice. And if you're juiceful, you're going to be useful. And if you're juiceless, well, you're going to be useless. So let's turn I have to into I want to and into I get to. Mindset shift number 2. Here we go again to no, now we go. See, I hear it all the time when I have athletes that explain to me how their performance was going great, and then all of a sudden there was an umpire's bad call. They gave up a hit on a good pitch. They threw a pass that was right where it needed to be but got dropped by a receiver, or there was an official or an umpire's bad call. You get the eye roll, the palms up, the defeated, here we go again mentality. And then the wheels fall off. And when adversity strikes, as it will all the time, in athletic competition, there's 2 guarantees, adversity and adrenaline. When both of them show up, instead of going, here we go again, it's now we go. Now we go. Now we respond. Now we move forward. Now we take over. Now we take control. Now we get back to the present moment. Turn here we go again, defeated, weak, into now we go, tough, in attacking. The third mindset shift that we're going to make is to go from a place of comparison into competition. Comparison is the thief of all joy. And as I get on a plane tomorrow to fly down to Texas A&M University to work with their baseball program, on that plane, there'll be people who are better looking than me, that have more money than I do, that have better health than I do, that have everything better than I do. And if I try to compare, whether it's on that plane or in a bigger landscape around the world, to what other athletes or other coaches are doing, it's a zero-sum game. You're never going to win. You can always find someone who's better than you. So stop comparing. It's the thief of all joy. And start competing with yourself. Compete to be better today than yesterday. Compete to be better tomorrow than today. And just compete to be the best version of yourself. And when you do that, and it's you versus you, or as a pitcher, it's you versus execution, where you throw the pitch, because that's all you can control, you give yourself the best chance to play free. And when you play free, you're going to be dangerous. That's how you're going to get results. So let's shift from comparison, what's everyone else doing, into competition with yourself to be the best version of you and to dominate the day. Mindset shift number 4 is from one of expectation into execution. One of my favorite books written by my mentor, one of my mentors, I've had many, Harvey Dorfman, the book being The Mental Game of Baseball. He talks about the trap of expectation. I expect to get 2 hits every day. Well, what would happen? The hitter would go out, go 2 for 2 in their first at-bats and give away the next 2. Or they'd be 0 for 2 in their first 2 at-bats and they'd put unneeded pressure on themselves. They get 2 more hits that day and they wouldn't perform well. You see, an expectation of an event that's largely out of your control, athletic competition, your life, to have expectations is you think that an outcome is going to go a certain way versus focusing on execution. You see, execution is a better mindset to compete from. Execution is a better mindset to live in because execution simply comes back to what am I doing in this moment? And is that what I should be doing in this moment? And when you execute and you execute and you execute and you execute, eventually you get to the finish line. And when you get to the finish line of that game or that day, you're probably going to like the result if you have focused on execution. If you go into a game with an expectation of how things are going to go, and then wham, you get hit in the mouth because things aren't going your way because the competition, the enemy gets a vote too, often you can get thrown off your rocker and you don't perform as well as you want to. So give up expectation, focus on execution. Give up comparison, focus on competition. Give up, here we go again, into no, now we go. And give up, I have to, into I want to and I get to. But we got one more. Stick with me. The 5th mindset shift that you're going to make is to go from winning a job into winning a pitch. I remember being at the University of Alabama, Birmingham with a great head baseball coach, Brian Shoup, a gentleman who I had worked with for years there and developed a close relationship, a middle infielder who was a senior, was in a tough competition with a player that they recruited who was highly regarded. He was a freshman. And I remember having my individual player meeting with that senior, and I stood in the senior's wedding. The senior had come in and worked with me for years. We had worked together for years. And I said to him, I said, hey man, how are you going to do if the freshman beats you out? Like, you're not guaranteed anything as a senior. You came back here to play, but you're not guaranteed anything other than a chance. So what happens if you get beat out? How are you going to be as a teammate? He goes, I'm not concerned about that. And I'm not concerned about starting. I'm focusing on winning a pitch, not a job. And I quickly took out my notebook and wrote that down and said, thank you. And I've used that ever since. See, you can't focus on winning a job. You can't focus on getting an outcome that you cannot control. You've got to focus on winning a pitch, winning this moment. And if you continue to stack moments and moments and moments on top of each other, or pitches or shots in golf or plays in football, that's how you give yourself the best chance to get the outcome that you're looking for. I remember I was working with the University of Alabama, their softball team, when we brought home the NCAA National Championship in 2012, and they had a pitcher that when we were in one of their team meetings, raised her hand and said, Kainer, what you're saying is my goal must be in my control. Because we had identified that your goal as a pitcher is not to get outs, it's not to throw strikes. Those are outcomes of you actually doing your job, which is execution. Was they went on, they played free, they won an NCAA national title, not trying to win a job, just trying to win a pitch. So what's it going to be for you? Are you going to try to win a job? Or are you just going to try to win this moment and keep winning the moment? As Georgia football coach Kirby Smart posted in their locker room on a big wall, WIN, what's important now? You know, what's important now is not winning the job. What's important now is winning this pitch. So those are your 5 mindset shifts. Turn have to into want to or get to. Turn here we go again into no, now we go. Give up comparison for competition. Focus on the execution, not the expectation, and just win a pitch, metaphorically, whatever that is for you. Let go of winning a job. Want more strategies to help you close the gap from where you are to where you want to be with having an elite mindset? I've put together a free 3-day mini course on mental performance mastery for coaches and athletes. All you've got to do is fill out the form below, and you can get for free my 3-day mini course to help you develop the 10 skills of mental toughness so that you can start to dominate the day and create the mental health and the mental performance mastery skills that you need to become that best version of you.